Everybody asks, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay so enthusiastic? How do you stay in shape? How do you keep going? Because I work on it. What is our main goal? Like, we have our outcomes. Like, if you really look at goals, there's really outcomes that you desire for your life. What are those pieces that we need in order to get to those outcomes? In times like these, and maybe any time in your life, we're doing what it takes to survive, to get by. But is that really what we were put on this earth to do? So many times when we get in our head, guys, we think it's just us. We think we're the only ones with that particular issue, that particular fear, that particular worry, that thing that's held us back in the past. We don't reach the goals we want, not because of lack of capabilities, not because of lack of opportunity. We don't do it because we get lost in here. Isn't it time that we thrive? That our physical health, our mental health, our relationships, our time, our control of our time, our freedom, our decisions are at its peak. Life is too short not to do that. You've told yourself a bad story. You let someone else get inside your head. You let a spouse or a friend tell you you're a dreamer and you should just play real. You played small, you played scared, or you pretended you were doing it, but you were really kind of dabbling because you were a little scared. You've all had success in your life. This isn't like, you guys are such losers and let's finally do something good, right? That's not what we're talking about. But who here knows that you were meant to do more, be more, impact more? Who knows, right? You wouldn't be here if you're completely satisfied. I think life would be boring as hell, right? Why do people freak out after lotto? It's not just the one thing. We're put on this earth to grow more, to love more, to serve more, to evolve, to dig deeper on who we really are under the shell, right? And each decade, listen, all different ages here, all different countries, all different backgrounds. Everybody realize each decade of your life, you're really trying to pull the cover back more and say, who the hell am I under all this? Who am I under being a mom? Under being a wife or a spouse or a significant other? Or who am I more than just this career that I've crushed? Or just keep trying to find it out. And we don't get to find that out when we have a facade, or we're afraid to face our fears, or we don't address imposter syndrome, or we don't look the people in their eyes that we love and say, hey, I appreciate you trying to protect me. I need to find the real me. We don't get to do that unless we go upstream and create a state of mind, courage, confidence to move forward. You don't need to emulate anybody else. You don't need to be someone else. You don't need someone else's confidence or someone else's courage or someone else's wisdom or someone else's smarts. You really just need to unlock the part of you that you're kind of holding back. And I would bet to say different parts of my life, if somebody would have said that to me, I'd be like, I'm not holding nothing back. That's BS. I was wrong. Did you ever notice when you break one fear and then you finally do it, you're like, oh wow, there was another level of me. I guess I can do this. I know this is a silly analogy, completely overused, but you can't get in good shape by working out for 3 hours. You can't get in good shape by working out once a week for an hour. You can't even get in good shape by an immersive 3-day immersive event. They are the foundation. That is the immersion you need. You need to learn how to exercise or learn how to do the thing from someone who's already been there. But then the only way it becomes a part of us if this is regular practice. Now, for me, this is just me. It took me years to get there. But every day, I want you to hear this, every day, 7 days a week, I listen to an hour of an audiobook every day. Every day. From about 5:15 to 6:15 or 5:30 to 6:30, when I work out, I've trained myself to listen to an audiobook. Why? Because my old brain, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to say me, but maybe it's just me. My old brain wants to take me back to the man I used to be. And I wasn't as good. I wasn't the human I am today. My old beliefs want to take me back to the way my father and mother raised me. I love them to death, but they grew up at a different time. They got married 9 times. They looked through the lens of what they didn't have rather than what they could. I love my parents. This is not disrespectful, but I don't want to be my parents. Maybe some of you take that harshly, but I don't. They've struggled forever. My dad struggles with anger issues because of things he went through, and I love them to death, and I support them financially, I support them emotionally. I would do anything for my parents. I love them, but I don't want to be them. If I don't work on my mindset, I can turn into being a guy that's a little too angry like my dad, or being someone who resents others who get successful like my mom did. My mom struggled financially, emotionally forever. She had dyslexia. No one ever picked that up, so she felt dumb in school. And then she got married at 18 and divorced very young with 2 young children and no support, and had to go get 3 jobs. And I think 3 jobs, coming home at 10 o'clock at night, being tired all the time. I think she found a way to resent people that became successful. She thought it was easier for them because she never had any training. I'm not being mean, but that's kind of ingrained in my mom. And my mom can't get rid of that. My dad can't get rid of his anger. My dad was the youngest of 12, was physically abused by his dad so bad that he's kept anger. He's 85 and he's in an amazing place right now, but he still deep down has these anger issues. He can't go to a weekend event and not be angry anymore. My mom can't watch one of her son's video and say, I'm never going to resent people who are successful again. Like, we fall back to these things unless we work on it. How about this? You tell your kids you don't want them to be on the phone. You know what I recognized? I recognized I was telling my kids all the time, hey, less phone time. I'd look at their screen time, less phone time. And I run 14 companies through my phone. And you know what I realized? I justified, because mine's all business. I don't surf the internet. I don't just text friends. I'm not doing Snapchat. I'm not watching TikTok. I run 13 companies, mostly from my phone. So what I realized I was doing with my kids, hey, I need you guys to stop being on TikTok so much, okay? This is what I was doing. I was telling my kids not be on while I was looking up over my phone. What a freaking hypocrite. I get to say to them, mine's business, yours isn't. It doesn't matter. Kids don't do what you tell them to do. They become who you are. It's the same with our subconscious, right? There are certain beliefs and habits. They won't stick. The new ones won't stick. The new empowering story won't stick. The new invincible you, the new courageous you, the new you that's going to take this action no matter what will not stick unless this becomes a part of who we are. I'm telling you, I'm being completely transparent. I'm telling you, if I didn't stay immersed in this, if I didn't get the chance to talk to you beautiful people on a regular basis, I write books about it. I do a video on Instagram almost every day. I go live in Facebook multiple times a week for my clients. So many people in my industry say to me, it's exhausting how much you do. I get to do those things because I do this regularly. I'm here with you, not because it's the most profitable thing in my life. It sharpens my skill. As I'm telling you, as I'm talking about it, I am embedding this. I am anchoring this into my soul. If I went a month completely not immersed in this, I know I would go backwards. I just would. My dad's first 20 years of my life, my dad ingrained in my head, you trust too many people. You know, it takes money to make money. Only the rich get rich. My dad was angry with certain people. Like, that is still in there. And I had to fight to push it out and create new stories of limitless possibilities. And I'm so blessed that I had my grandmother. When my parents split when I was 3, I spent most of my childhood with my grandmother, who only went to 7th grade and was the smartest woman alive. Every day she told me, don't listen to anybody. You follow your dreams. My grandmother told me every day that I was beautiful, which was pretty cool, even when I didn't feel it and when I wasn't growing, or awkward teens and girls would break up with me or not like me and think I'm cute. My grandmother every day would say, you're beautiful and you can do anything you want. And she was nice. She goes, I love your parents, but they weren't born with you, what you were born with, babe. There's nothing that'll stop you. And you know, I believe my grandmother was a good mom. But she had my mom when she was 16. I think my grandmother got pregnant when she was 16. When my grandma was in 7th grade, her mom died. When she was in 8th grade, her father died. She quit 8th grade and raised 5 brothers and sisters. The youngest was 2. Imagine, my daughter's in 9th grade. I could not imagine my daughter right now quitting 9th grade and raising 5 children. Just a different era, right? But what it made her, it didn't make her resentful. And then by the time she was 16 or 17, she got pregnant with my mom, married my grandfather. They stayed together forever and they were great. But I think she was such a young kid and she just got done raising kids that I think she was a little bit of a distant mom to my mom. Does that make sense? But by the time it got to me, all that sunk in and she was just pure wisdom and she had another shot at it with me. And man, was she amazing. I'm the man I am today because of that woman, right? Again, I'm sharing all this because all my grandmother did is spark something, but it wouldn't have lasted if it wasn't a part of me. So what I'm trying to share with you guys today is find the time to make what we're talking about today, make it a part of your daily routine. If it's 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, check in, listen to something, read a paragraph, listen to 5 minutes on the way to work, have a schedule. Like sometimes maybe you gotta go to school, maybe you drive to work. I don't know. If you drive to work, listen on the way. If you exercise or take a walk, listen while you walk. If you drop the kids off at school, or you drop your grandchildren off at school, or is this moment in between shower and starting your day, find a time to feed your mind with it, reminds you, I can stay in this state. I can accomplish anything. I'm not an imposter. Face my fear. Focus on solutions. Oh, that's an old story. I don't like that story. Everybody asks, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay so enthusiastic? How do you stay in shape? How do you keep going? Because I work on it.